Welcome, my Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your work, career, vocation read. Timeless, but doing these for the month of October and November 2021. So whenever you catch it, I'm your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a professional witch, available on Kindle, link in the description box, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons. You can call me Mal. Hi. You my Saggies. It is time for the 12-card work, career, vocation spread based on the work of Caroline Myss, M-Y-S-S. She's a PhD, brilliant spiritual teacher and medical intuitive through what is called the 3 levels of power. There is a link by Caroline Myss in the description box talking about the 3 levels of power, 3 archetypal lenses through which to look at many different areas of your life, in this case, life purpose, eau de toilette, cologne, perfume, reason, season, lifetime, 3 levels of power. There are chakras involved. I'll call those out as we go. It is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, and I keep saying this because I really feel it's true. Your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs are going to get different takes on work, career, vocation. Your Sun and Rising sign might be more about your work in the world. Your Moon might very much be more about your career. You'll see when we talk about 2nd level of power. And certainly your Venus sign is all about love and relationships of different kinds. So that could totally be about your vocation, your spiritual calling. So do keep that in mind. I do these readings with clients all the time, have for decades, to help people find fulfillment. It's about making money, sure, but it's about bringing everything into alignment with your life purpose, right? Follow your path, do what you love, the money will follow. Usually, not that there aren't lessons involved. So that's what we are going to look at. All the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box, and if you'd like to book me for a reading, there's also a link to a video booking a reading with Mal down there, which I just watched today because I sent it to a client. I was like, how's this one holding up? I like it. It's a fun video, cracks me up, so go check it out. Otherwise, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can from the divine through my intuitive nervous system and all of that, through these pieces of cardboard, through the YouTube to you, my beloved Saggies. Ready? Please take a nice deep breath. Rocking a ponytail today for y'all, Saggies. Here we go. We're going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype deck. Why not? She's the one who turned me on to the 3 levels of power, so I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of life purpose through work, career, vocation, and the higher selves of all involved. 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. For the Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, work, career, vocation, getting 3 clear archetypes in the 8th chakra, hovering over the head for the Sagittarians here. What is the dominant soul power? Being developed, alchemized from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy for them at the time of this reading in their work, in their career. That was 2. Just the one. Just the one, please, for their career. 2nd level of power. What's going on in their career, their passion, their hunger, their thirst? That's the one. That's the one. And in their vocation, their spiritual calling, their mystical power here. 8th chakra dynamics. These are in the title of the video. So let's see how brave you are to show up. Oh, these are lovely, but keep in mind, as lovely as an archetype sounds in its light is as toxic as it is in its shadow, and vice versa. Don't judge an archetype by its name alone. You've got the shapeshifter, the mother, and the mediator. Now, the mother, just going to say right there, does not have to be about biological gender at all. I have the mother archetype. I'm really not a daddy. twinks want me to be daddy, I can play the role, just not endemic to who I am. It's just not. I'm predominant divine feminine energy, obviously. So we'll talk about that. And you got the shapeshifter. Now the thing is, the mediator, wisdom family archetype of the 9 families, the wisdom family archetype, the mother, the feminine family archetype, that's feminine energy, not about gender. You can mother a creative project regardless of your gender. And the shapeshifter, which is a wild card archetype, and I know I immediately jumped to Sam Merlot. I can't help it. I just thought he was the cutest thing ever and still do. But it's more prevalent than you realize. So let's go there. Let's talk about the lessons you are learning, the evolution happening in your work. Now, this is your first level of power, how you interact with the physical world, your survival intuition, really about the lower 3 chakras, and we will get to those. The shadow attribute of the mediator is essentially putting your thumb on the scale, negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. Now, professionally, that happens all the time, right? You don't get all the information in a deal or something that, there's a hidden something going on. The light attribute, gift for negotiating fairness and strategy. Now, fairness and strategy for a mediator is really key. In personal and professional life, respect for both sides of the argument. And I will say, you don't have to agree with somebody necessarily, but you can hear them out, right? There's a great healing mantra from the healing mantra deck. Matt Kahn will be using those last 3 cards down. I don't have to choose sides. I take a stand, right? To find that balance here. Definitely you are learning something that is lifelong. In other words, once you learn this, you will be taking that wisdom with you, but there's definitely a thing about fairness and strategy. In your career, and I want you to think, this is your second level of power. This is the world behind your eyes, this center lane. What lights you up? What's your hunger? What's your passion? What's your thirst, right? What is really your soul? And I think this is why when you have the mother in your career, this could be something as clear as you conceiving, gestating, laboring, and giving birth to your own career in some way, shape, or form, maybe self-employment. Drawing the Circle Productions, 1998, right? So it's an old company. I've been doing this for a while. It's my son. That's how I think of it. So the shadow attributes, we know the shadow mother, don't we? I told you to call me that. I wanted you to mean it. Smothering or abandoning children. There's a spectrum. Smothering to abandoning. Instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. It's the dark mother, not the dark mother in terms of the goddess, but in terms of that real toxic mother energy. And of course, that can happen within a work or a career space as well. People can absolutely smother their own creative projects or abandon them or neglect them. The light you're shooting for here, nurturance, patience, that's a big one, unconditional love, joy to giving birth to life in your career in some way, shape, or form. That does not have to be literal birth. Birth a book, right? Birth an art. Birth and art. I don't know, whatever. You get what I'm saying there. The shapeshifter. Wild card families, you never know what to expect, can show up in any way. The shadow attribute, projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. You ever been to one of those parties and you're with somebody, maybe not with them, but you're in the same kind of area, and they're one thing to one person and another, it's like they're a liberal in one room, a conservative in another. It's like they're shape-shifting. This is big time for politicians. They morph, right? They just change, and pretty toxic, and definitely hidden agendas in that as well. However, the light attribute in the vocation is exquisite. Skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. Now let's look at that first part, right? Skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness. That's about meeting people where they're at. That's also, considering the vocation is really strong, 8th chakra dynamic, your mystical power, that could absolutely be about you attuning yourself to higher levels of consciousness, seeing things from your higher self, just as an example, right? And the ability to see the potential in everything. I mean, I'm good at that, but remember, if you're seeing it in other people, you can see their potential. It doesn't mean they have the capacity to pull it off. Learned that the hard way, particularly in business. Oh, it's going to be great, it's going to be amazing, and they show up with nothing, right? Been there, done that. Have the receipts, oddly enough, so let's keep going, my Saggies. We're going to do Daughters of the Moon Tarot for the next 4 chakras down: the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart. This is about bringing yourself into alignment. And usually, like I said, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus Sun, one of these is your leverage, right? Work on this one. It should balance the other 2 out. Let's see what's going on inside of you, yin side of you. The heart, throat, third eye, crown. Breathe. As I call upon my goddesses of fire and the sign of Sagittarius, powers of the south, please 3 cards in clarity for the I hear you, Sagittarian Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. We'll do 3 cards face up and then talk about them for the Sagittarian Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in their work. Their 8th chakra dynamic is the Mediator, heart, third eye, crown. Khalifa, indigenous goddess of California. Interesting, the Aries card, the Maiden of Flames, literally says the word Aries on it. That would be King of Wands. They've got the Mother in their career. What's going on, heart, third eye, crown for them, because that feels very intense. Second court card. Court cards, when they happen, heart, third eye, crown, the internal world. This is more about your dynamic. It does not mean that you have to have the astrological placement in any planetary way. But here you've got Chantico, the Mother of Flames, the Leo card, creativity and good fortune, and you literally have a double whammy. Mother and mother. Literally says mother on the tarot card there. So we'll talk about that in a minute. A hot minute for sure. You got 2 fires in a row in both court cards. Definitely could be aspects of your own personality and your soul expressing their creativity. With that shapeshifter in their 8th chakra of their mystical power, their vocation. What do you got for them? Wow. The card of celebration, major arcana. This is the judgment card. Something is revealed that allows you to make a final decision. Now, I know you look at the card, it's women like at a women's gathering, right? Circle dancing around a central point, but if you pull back and look, they are dancing on the belly of the Great Mother. See, breasts in the foreground, pubic mound in the back, the thighs, right? And they're dancing around her navel. So it's like, whoa. So there is something here about you. Let's look at that again. Navigating through different levels of consciousness. In other words, all right, I'll do this. Egg, caterpillar, cocoon, butterfly, ego, personality, soul, higher self. Different levels of consciousness. Your ego is the most unevolved, or it's not the best word, because it's always moving forward, everything is. The most dormant is probably a better way to look at it. Aspect of the soul. It's all one spectrum of light, like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, that idea. Different wavelengths, right? Different channels on the same radio band. So to be able to do that, to get to that place, I'm going to say right now, you've got a lot of drive, a lot of fire on the inside here in your work and career, but in your vocation, the shapeshifter with such a powerful card of revelation, even in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the Judgment card is straight out of the Book of Revelations. I mean, it's Gabriel's horn, people raising from the dead, and all of that. Judgment Day, which Judgment Day takes place in the Book of Revelations. So, very, very interesting thing here. Just to go back, though, the Aries energy, this is about you being selfish, but you have to be selfish in a way that is honorable and integrous. Cardinal fire, creative fire. There's stuff you want to do, and there's stuff that you want to do to fulfill yourself in the physical world, but to be a mediator to make sure your strategies are fair. Now, mediating also indicates there are other people involved here. So to find higher selfish, healthy selfish, to really speak your truth in a way that may not, well, it may be incendiary if people don't like it. Sometimes you can't help that. But really speaking up for yourself and saying, I am pretty sure I am is the beginning of the Aries statement, right? I am feeling this. I am really doing my best. I am putting it out there that if you want me to mediate in this situation, I don't care if I know you before this, I have to be true to myself. With this Leo card, by the way, survival intuition, first level of power. Creative intuition, second level of power here. The Leo card, Leo, 5th house, creativity and good fortune, but it's fixed fire. This is creative fire, cardinal fire. This is fixed fire. It's more focused. That's why we see Chantico making loaves of bread cake, right? In an oven. Let me get that closer so you can see, right? She even got a little kid there helping her out, right? And so the temperature in the oven stays fixed, right? At a certain temperature, so something can be transformed from, I guess, dough, batter, right, into cake. You can't uncook a cake, right? So it's moving something in a very creative direction that will bring you good fortune. But with the mother there, it's gestating in your heart, third eye crown. You want to bring it all the way down into the root chakra so it hits the planet's electromagnetic field and manifests in some way, shape, or form. And I could go on for hours about this. The shapeshifter, it's such an interesting thing, particularly at the time of this recording, with it being Halloween coming up, the ability to shift, to change shape, shapeshift. But really keep that in mind. Meeting people where they're at, right? You know, first meeting people, I don't start off, well, you know, the gods tell me. I don't do that anyway, right? You say, hi. Hi. Nice to meet you. But certainly this can certainly be more about your own spiritual life, bringing this into alignment. Oh, I forgot to put my ringy dingies on. Let's do this. The Ring of Zeus. The Rings of Dionysus. There we go. All right. Lower 3 chakras. Makes sense. The Mythic Tarot. Let's ask the gods of Sagittarius. What's going on here, lower 3 chakras? Now, before these hit the table, you just need to know this. Everybody does. Lower 3 chakras are about your relationships in the world. Root chakra, tribal relationships. Take a week. Put it on your phone, like a little note thing. Text yourself all the different tribes you discover that you're already in. Right? The human tribe, obviously, there's racial consciousness, religion, spiritual group, the country you live in, the state, the town, right? You know, I'm a New Yorker. It means you're part of the New York tribe, right? Second chakra, one-on-one relationships. That might absolutely be in play with this mediator thing here in your work. Pardon me, but it's also your relationship with money. Money is a singular energy field. I know it feels like billions of little things, but it's not. It's one energy field you have an umbilical relationship with. And really, with this card here, solar plexus is going to be key because that's your relationship to yourself, your integrity, your honor code, your intuition, which is linked to your self-esteem because it's your intuition. You need to check with everybody on planet Earth before you act on your intuition. You're not estimating yourself accurately. That's your guidance. No one else is supposed to validate your guidance but you. Shall we? Breathe. My gods of fire, the sign of Sagittarius, and the powers of the south. Lower 3 chakra dynamic, please. From the outside looking in at the Sag, from the Sag on the inside looking out, some aspect of the physical world here, maybe some of that, maybe all of that for the Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. They've got the Mediator in the 8th chakra of their work with the Aries card on the inner and Temperance on the outer. Really good. We'll get back to that. Let's get these 3. I want to see with this mother in their career, with that creative fire, but fixed fire, creativity, good fortune, that Leo energy, Chantico on the inner. What's going on the outer? 10 of Wands, we'll talk about it. And the shapeshifter in the 8th chakra of their vocation with revelation, celebration. It's usually, oh, I get it, right? And then the next card completes the cycle, the world, the universe. In this deck, Shakti, the life dancer, the end of the major arcana cycle. So what's going on? Lower 3 chakras for the Saggies in their vocation. 3 of Wands. It's been showing up a lot in these readings. Let's talk about them. The Mediator with the Aries card on the inner and Temperance on the outer is saying slow down. Slow down. Temper yourself. Temper, temper. Now, people think temper means being angry. No, the reason why people say watch your temper, it's a process of balancing, like tempering steel, right? Tons of videos on YouTube, fascinating, about people restoring iron and metal and this ancient, right, you know, steampunk, whatever, pick your era, right, industrial age machine that they, you know, take all the rust off of it. And I love those videos. Quite a break from tarot, I'll tell you that. But when they temper metal, they beat the crap out of it, right? But it's a process of transformation, usually involving heat, time, and pressure. So this is about, yeah, you might be angry about something here. You might have a lot of cardinal fire. I really want this. I'm feeling this way. It's saying slow it down. Again, with the card of the Temperance, I always see it with 2 cups. I mean, right away to begin with. But there might very well be another person involved here where you're going to have to really find what is the fair way of dealing with this person, perhaps something dealing with the legal aspect or the financial aspect here, to take your time to not rip their heads off. Let's just leave that there. This Mother, however, I see this a lot. Mother in the 8th, right? The Mother of Flames. The Leo card, this would be the Queen of Wands, by the way. On the inner with the 10 of Wands, you could really, really be overburdened, right? Just like a mother, heavy with child. Physically, you might be a little like, all right, I got here, but are we done? And then with this card, the card before the end, this is the cycle of fire, Wands. This is the cycle of spirit. With this major arcana, I think you're going to get some sort of vision, revelation thing, really doing your spiritual / mystical work here. That's going to show you some truths about what you are carrying, about the creativity that you have. Now, I'm just going to reference it. In the bottom of this card is the Golden Fleece. Jason and the Argonauts, the quest for the Golden Fleece. I don't know if you can see it in the background, but you see that boat in the back? Sort of all busted up. That's the Argo, hence the Argonauts, right? And literally, this pyre that he's sitting in the middle of is from the broken boards of it. Something is at an end. It might be that you have achieved a certain level of what you wanted here in your career, but we know the burdens of the mother energy, right? Nurturance, patience, unconditional love, and a joy in giving birth to life doesn't mean that it's easy. But obviously, depending on when you are watching this, there is some completion of fire, something you desired, you've got. Make sure you're taking a look at what that might be. Take the moment, look back over your shoulder. Yes, be in the present moment. But I know being self-employed, I'm not saying you are, maybe you're not, where you kind of get that thing if you're always working, moving forward, to stop and really look back and go, oh yeah, not just stuff on the checklist. It's like, yeah, I really wanted to do that. I did that. But I didn't give myself 10 seconds to go, oh, I did that. There may be something like that going on here. And then I have to say with the Shapeshifter, this feels like your leverage. 3 of Wands, definitely waiting for something, but a loyal waiting. Again, that Mediator, being fair. Like, let's wait for this. The indecision of the 2, or the back and forth choice of the 2 of Wands has been resolved in the 3 for a steady, solid foundation. Something willing to wait for, waiting for the cake to bake, you could say, considering Chantico there. while something is revealed to you, there's a lot of cycles ending here, or at least in your vocation, seeing the larger picture of it so you can complete the cycle. I'm going to say it right now, this is where your leverage really is. You get this celebration, this revelation, this full circle, this, oh, now I see it. It comes from you really, really being diligent here. So, you know, can you meet people where they're at? Can you temper what may be your frustration, irritation at best, and your rage and wrath at worst? Because why else would you need to temper it? Slow and steady wins the race on this one. I know Saggies aren't big on that usually. Let's get your last 3 cards down. The Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. There are a couple of different ways to read these once we hit the table. Let's see what flies out my mouth, shall we? Please take a nice deep breath. Because right now you are posited as the mediator, mother, shapeshifter, or if that doesn't resonate as easily, reverse it. The shapeshifter, mother, mediator, which feels like that clicked for somebody. Breathe. My ascended masters of life purpose through the lenses of work, career, and vocation, please, what are the 3 perfect healing mantras for the work, career, and vocation for the Sagittarian Collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. In their work, they're the mediator with the Maiden of Flames, Aries, Calafia, right? The King of Wands on the inner, but Temperance on the outer. What's the perfect mantra to heal that? Asking for angelic support. My angels respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel, and there's that I am right in there. We'll talk about that. With the mother in their career, Mother of Flames, the Leo card, Queen of Wands, Chantico on the inner, 10 of Wands on the outer, and that just feels like someone's lower back is sore. Just been carrying it. They got what they wanted in some ways, but maybe not the way they wanted it. There's definitely a feeling of burden here. What's their perfect healing mantra there? Opening my mind. I allow my mind to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. I think you have manifested quite a lot. I think you've gotten a lot of what you want, but to open your mind to see from a larger perspective, which of course leads right into the shapeshifter with the judgment card, revelation, celebration, and with that 3 of Wands, your loyalty, your diligence to your spiritual path, waiting loyally, right? A solid foundation here. My ascended masters, what's their perfect healing mantra there? Balancing the brain. I can be and do all at once. Let's talk about these. So, like I said, a couple of different ways to read these. If you just do the titles, they tell you one thing. I'm asking for angelic support in my work. I know I'm opening my mind in my career, and I'm balancing the brain, which is really good. Brain synthesis and the cranium to get you up to that 8th chakra, unisys, synthesis, in your vocation. But then if you flip them, when you look at the mantras and read them this way, I can be and do all at once. I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas, and my angels respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel. So let's do this. The mediator, you might be very, very angry about the situation. You might be very, very scared of the situation. A range of emotions. But the angels are not going to pull you out of those feelings. Those feelings are part of the lesson here, right? What is fair to you? Well, this is saying get in touch with your element of fire. What do you really want in your work? What is it that you really want to achieve solo? Right? Aries, right? Very much, what do I, these are my needs. These are my heart, third eye, crown passions, but I'm going to temper that and get that. I'm going to call upon the angels. Interesting, the goddess Iris, but usually the angel, Archangel Michael in the card of temperance. You say, and nobody has to see you do this. No one needs to know you're doing this, but saying, all right, angels, roll your eyes, all 3 of them, right? All right, higher powers, this is how I feel. I feel like I want to burn down the village, or it's like I feel like I'm going to screw this up, and I feel like I don't know what I really want because I want so many things. You are a Sagittarius, mutable fire. So to find that balance and that wisdom there, So your angels will support you, give you the support you need, but they're not going to make the emotion go away. They're going to carry you through it. It's that thing of walking on water. Water represents the unknown and the unstable. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. My middle son needed me. See, mother archetype. I have 3 boy cats, 3 black cats. I love them. Balthazar the Leo. He wants my attention, he gets it. So I'm glad I caught it before he jumped up on the table. So let's look here. The mother and the Leo card. It was a little more than symbolic. In your career, like we said here, you've got this mother archetype. Conception, gestation, labor, and birth, right? The creative process is the same as the language of pregnancy with this fixed fire. Say fire in your belly, but really more heart, throat, third eye, crown dynamic there. With this overwhelm, well, why wouldn't it make sense to open your mind? Very much a third eye thing. I allow myself, and that's the word, I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. And like I said, that really shows itself here in your vocation. That's why I feel like that's your leverage. But like I said before, take the moment to really look back on all that you've done in your career, because this is so cliche, but it's so true. There is no failure if you learned from it, right? So you might have gained things that you have not realized that you've gained, that you might have wanted, you just might not realize you've developed it. Why? Because this also can talk about an inflamed nervous system, right? Overwhelmed, burdened, stressed, yet at the end of a cycle of fire. So allow yourself to see beyond your beliefs and ideas, opening your mind, which Saggies are usually very into, that 9th house Jupiterian expansion. And I think that's really going to serve you here. Shapeshifter, navigating levels of consciousness, seeing the potential in everything, which can be a little daunting, right? To get that visionary intuition, different than creative and survival. It's seeing the larger picture. But there is something revealed to you, no question, opening your mind here. Don't forget that one. With this 3 of Wands, it's been a process. You've made the decision, you're moving forward. But in terms of balancing the brain, that's so key. I can be and do all at once. It's about mindfulness. It's about saying, I don't have to sit and meditate for 3 hours before I go and, I don't know, do the dishes, whatever, or do my office work. That I can be and do all at once. It's the balancing of the feminine and the masculine, the yin and the yang, whatever, Erica Yang, to really get that I can be in the present moment. I can allow myself the space to be as I am in my vocation, tune myself to my spiritual calling, and in that be shown things that I might not be able to do. Now I'm going to say, with that opening of the mind and the balancing of the brain, that seems very, very element of air, very mental, but fire needs air, right? You can't have fire without the element of air. But with asking for angelic support, that is definitely more about emotion. So with the amount of fire in this spread, right? I'm looking at 3 of Wands, 10 of Wands, the Leo card, and the Aries card. That is a predominant elemental thing going on there in the tarot. There's no question you have passion for what you do. You have the drive to do it, as Sagittarians will. Hunters in the woods, right? Hunting down their dreams. But there is a gestational process going on here with this mother, no question about that, to open your mind, that as you find your leverage in one, and I'm just going to say the shapeshifter here seems to be your leverage, particularly as a Sagittarius 9th house spirituality and expansion dynamic, then by all means, call upon your angels, your guides, your masters to help you balance this and temper this so you can do this fairly. Let me put it together in a blessing for you. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon my collective pantheons of the divine, please, may the Sagittarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, be blessed with all that they need in their work, career, vocation, that as the mediator in their work, they discover their gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life with respect for both sides of the argument, and being very, very clear about their side of the argument, how they see things, how they feel about things, what it is that they want, but may they balance it, temper it in a healthy way, that they are able to be disciplined here, that they are able to become stronger as a result of this without necessarily giving in or burning down the village, asking for the angelic support that they need, because their angels respond when they are open and authentic about how they feel. They may not do that with the people involved completely, but they can certainly do that with their higher power. So in their career, they experience the nurturance, patience, unconditional love, and joy to giving birth to life, particularly in terms of their creativity with the Mother of Flames, the Leo card on the inner fixed fire, baking the cake, gestation, getting ready for labor, while at the 10 of Wands, even the most gorgeous, healthy, balanced birth is exhausting afterwards. No one's going out for lunch immediately afterwards. Unless you do you. But certainly for a creative process, it can be very easy to think in a very boxed in way. So may they open their minds, allowing themselves to see beyond their beliefs and ideas, so that in their vocation, they find their skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness with an ability to see the potential in everything through some kind of revelation, some kind of judgment call moment where they see the larger picture, or they see what has always been there but they could not see because their minds were not as open to see it. And their loyalty to this, their willingness to do what is necessary, even to wait for ships to come in some way, shape, or form, that even if they don't know what to do, they can be. And if they don't know how to be, they can do, balancing the brain, because they can be and do all at once. And that is what's going to really help them get into that higher vibrational POV, to see the Google map, to see the GPS point of view, that they heal, grow, fulfill their life purpose little by little, bringing it all into alignment for their well-being and for the well-being of all. So motive, baby. And so it is. It's a long read, but it's work, career, vocation. So did you like it? Like it. There's a lot to like here, actually. It's tricky, but it's work, career, vocation. Do you want more? Subscribe. Please do. You want to book me for a reading? Link in the description box. You want to read my book? Link in the description box. Feel like commenting what I would want to know as a YouTuber, a YouTube reader. What is this mothering? What is going on in your career? What are you gestating? What are you conceiving? Where are you in the stage? Are you in conception? Are you in gestation? Are you in labor? Or have you already given birth at the time you watch this? Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Wishing you all the very best and the very blessed in your work, career, vocation, my beloved Sagittarius asses. Hell, farewell and blessed be.